Oh man, I might be a little rusty. Hold
Double.
up.
What's up?
I
What's happening?
definitely, I don't know if y'all saw that in the stream, but
Y'all didn't see that, right? We just gonna pretend like y'all didn't see it. I ain't see
oh
nothing. I don't even know what we talking about for real. Is
man,
that gonna be on YouTube?
shout out to that cold opening.
Oh, we should leave that in on the YouTube. That could stay. That was fun.
That was, I mean, we ain't got no choice now. That was live. Anyway, what's happening? We back with another episode of
What's
Cookout.
up?
What's
Yeah.
going on?
How y'all doing?
I'm better now than I was 2 seconds before we got on the stream. All right, a little off camera rant. I'm not gonna share it with y'all today. Just know I was in a mood, but we're here to talk about something fun, so I'm gonna let it go for the next hour and some change.
Absolutely. JBM, what's happening?
Chilling, man. It's been a good day today. Slow day today. So I'm trying to wake up.
Where? Okay, yeah. It's it has been a slow day for sure. I was able uh to get into the PTU. I had some issues for PTU access with Star Citizen, so got that resolved. That was a win. So I'll probably be streaming that at some point, maybe this weekend or maybe after this stream. Depends on how I feel. But we are here to talk about Avatar 2, The Way of the Water,
The way of water.
The Way of Water.
Oh,
Excuse
the
me.
way of
Pardon me. So
water.
Oh,
we
sorry.
hope
Sorry.
we hope you guys who are watching have seen the movie because
I
we are
didn't
going to
realize
get
the
into
way
heavy
of water
spoilers.
was in the title for the second movie.
I don't think it's technically called Avatar 2. I think it's just Avatar: The Way of Water.
It is.
Yeah,
But
it's
Hmm.
that's a lot. So Avatar 2 is what I think that's even what it said in the movie theater when you walked up to go in there. It was Avatar 2 at Regal.
yes, for the title's sake, I was, Avatar 2. We know it's a sequel. You know what we're talking about. We know what we're talking about. But yeah, y'all ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's
Let's
jump
get
right
into
in.
it. Do we want to rate it 1 out of 10 before we go? Do we want to bring back the spoons?
We bring out
Yes.
the scoops of gumbo for
Scoops of
this one.
gumbo. What you got, Imani?
I'm I'm being generous. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because the only things I didn't like were like bits of the plot. I love the overall story and I love everything else. There's a whole bunch I would not change. The things I would change, I'm very passionate about, but I don't think they deserve, to come below a 9. That was fantastic. So I'm gonna keep it right there. 9.5.
Pretty. Yeah, I'll give it a 9 because I enjoyed watching that movie. I had fun watching it. Highly entertaining. Action all the way through for it to be like a 3 hour movie. Um, yeah, I had some gripes, but they weren't big enough to take away from the rating. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah,
echo that sentiment. It's definitely 9 scoops of gumbo for me, and I got like a few, I'd say, nitpicks, but other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed my time watching the movie. It was a fun ride. I think they recaptured the magic of the first film and added to it. I can appreciate that they took their time to tell this story and to really kind of expand uh on the lore of it. Like I the to me I it felt like um the what was it, 14 years that they took to develop the story. I can see the development and the growth in the story. Like it definitely paid off to me. Like it was a fantastic sequel. Almost its own film. Like it almost stands on its own. Like you could probably watch this because it's been years since I saw the first movie. I didn't rewatch the first movie before I went into this.
same.
I just
It could
watched
really
it,
stand on its own. I mean,
and
they
yeah, I
give just
mean,
enough.
yeah, they show you just enough of the story, that at least the bits that matter for this story, in the opening act to inform you enough on what's important and what's about to happen in the movie. Also, the visual effects were fantastic. Like the visual effects, like I mean, it's been a while since I watched a movie and just felt like the visual effects were like off the chart. But this was definitely one. I kn- I saw something about James Cameron taking a shot at like the Marvel visual effects, like how flat they look, and I watch this movie and I'm like, I can understand what he means by that. I
Wait,
was
so what did he say about Marvel's visual effects?
basically the so like he was basically talking about how Thanos hit the visual, like the facial effects and the like the musculature in his face, and like it doesn't. Their CGI mocap characters don't emote the same way that the his characters do in Avatar, and I definitely understood. I see the difference in quality between those films. I think just it's not even just Marvel. I think it's most of the industry at this point. Like what they did in Avatar is far and above what the industry standard is as far as mocap. Like those characters felt human. Like there were so many details in their face and how they emote without speaking that is a lot, I would say, lost in a lot of ways in a lot of the mocap stuff that you see in a lot of the like modern, I wouldn't even just say Marvel, but just the modern films. Marvel's just the one that's in the box office like 12 times out of the year, so they're the ones who get most of the comparison. But like I would
Probably the
say,
problem. They in the theaters too much.
yeah,
James
they in the theater too
had
much.
time to make this movie and it paid off.
Exactly. They, and I mean, it's not even just the characters; it's the environments too. Like all of that stuff is CG. It's nothing practical about anything that you saw, but it looked and
It was
felt
only
like,
like two scenes where it had no CGI in it from the whole
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. And it's hard to tell. Like you don't it transitions so it blends well together. Like you really do get lost in the world. And I think the water effects were like some of the best I've seen. Period.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
uh I said this on Discord and also in our messages earlier. I'm so thankful Black Panther came out when it did. Because yeah, um we're comparing Marvel now, but if Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out after this movie and we had to see the water was murky. We had to
Mhm.
see that murky water now, we would be upset. We would be very upset. So I'm just thankful it came out when it did. We got to appreciate it. We didn't have those complaints because they absolutely blew that out of the water. I think they set a new standard for what animation and film can be. And I'm actually sad of seeing the people. I want a movie with no sky people. They have to find a way to do it. They have to. Just don't even bring in the people. They bring the movie down. Bro, the humans. It's that was fantastic. No complaints at all there.
Yeah, that's actually one of my gripes is the humans. Like I remember I was sitting there in the theater like thinking about um someone saying that you can't make a movie with no human characters in it, and I strongly disagree with that sentiment. I think you can absolutely tell a story without human beings in it. You see it in animation all the time. They were, I think the comparison was live action because animation does it all the time, but like Avatar is a franchise that you don't need humans in it whatsoever for people to relate to the characters. Like, and I feel like a lot of the human, like the sky people, were put back into the story maybe for that reason. I'm not sure, but it to me, I don't even think it needed the sky people. I think they could have told a story and had an entirely new antagonists in the story, and not going back to the sky people. That's really my only nitpick. I would have liked to see someone other than the humans be the main villain.
Yeah,
Exactly.
who would have? I wonder who would have served as a good villain if it wasn't the Sky People.
Another
Human.
tribe. I mean, we know our history, tribes fought. So, why wouldn't they do the same on another planet? Why wouldn't they have some sort of beef? We know that Natiri and Jake have sons that don't listen. Well, a son now that doesn't listen. And the whole time I watched this movie, I was nervous that the oldest son and the new fish people's, the water people's daughter, I thought that was going to be the plot of the story because his father was out here doing stuff he wasn't supposed to do with girls he wasn't supposed to do stuff with. And so I was thinking the kids were going to do the same thing the whole movie. I was like, oh Lord, they're going to mate and you know, their tails is going to intertwine their braids. And now Jake and Natiri is going to have to apologize to these people and then they can't leave. And now that's not what happened, but that's what I thought was going to happen. So I don't know. There's probably they do that again.
And that was like the plot of the first movie. So I'm really glad they didn't do that because that's kind of what that's really what it was.
Well,
like
I was just thinking like, you know, the apple don't fall from the tree, you know, stuff happens, but you know, but I was gonna say something like that could potentially happen later because I mean, tribes fought over land, they fought over people, they fought over goods, and then often, you know, the best way to sometimes heal those wounds, not just through our history, but also European history. Sometimes marriage was the way to fix that. So,
Unity Being, welcome. That's a new name for
Unity?
me.
What's up, Unity? They said I've rewatched Avatar 1 3 times in 3D. I'm a geek for 3D vision by NVIDIA Legacy Tech, and I own Avatar 1. We'll plan to buy Avatar 2. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll probably be streaming within the next few months, probably once it finishes box office run.
And if what's the Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, Top Gun.
They need to ride that till the wheels fall off.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in theaters for a couple months. Like it ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Like they're gonna keep it in theaters till it crosses 2 billion, which it should maybe this weekend.
Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun was in theaters for forever. I'm Avatar 2.
Yeah, Avatar 2.
Is Top Gun out on DVD yet? Because if it's not, no, I suspect because they've been petty with Top Gun. Top Gun's gonna go back in theaters. Once Avatar starts to die down, they're gonna put that movie back in theaters. And I wonder if James Cameron is gonna be equally as petty and put Avatar back in theaters. Because you want to play this game, we can play this game.
I would go back to theaters to see Avatar 2, but I would not go back to theaters to see Top Gun.
I don't disagree with that. I did see Top Gun in my house.
I would watch Top Gun at the house.
But yeah, I feel like Avatar is a movie that you have to see in theaters. And I agree, Unity Being that first movie in theaters, I saw it 2 or 3 times. I'll never forget that experience. Also, something that I did the first time by accident, my father took me to see the first Avatar when I saw it for the first time. And he had me sitting in seat A, row 1. I was looking up the screen like this with the Real D 3D glasses on. And I will say it definitely didn't make me feel good. I had a headache and I was nauseous. But I remember how cool the film felt. This time I was maybe 2 rows away from the back and I was sitting in the middle. And I can confidently say that I think I had a better experience the first time. And how I know is because that movie was long. I had to use the bathroom and I got to the bottom of the steps and was about to walk away to the bathroom and an underwater scene came on and the fish was swimming at me, but not like in an aggressive 3D way. It was very graceful. I was by like the edge of the screen and I actually just sat there for an extra 5 minutes. I had to go, but I didn't want to like leave. That view was real nice down there. Like, and I don't know if this happened the first time, but the way they handled the edges of the screen and how the animals would swim off screen was ridiculously tasteful. They didn't just disappear. So I just wanted to put that out there that I don't know if that happened the first time, but I think they absolutely considered what the view would be like from different seats. I had a great view where I sat this time, but the people like the handicap seats, the handicap seats are not right under the screen, but they're like at the back before the seats. The handicap seats had the best view in the house. So shout out to the people in the handicap seats. Y'all won.
Y'all know for those underwater scenes, the actors had to get like divers certifications.
Yeah,
they were
I saw that.
Deep underwater swimming.
Cool. What's happening?
They use some type of technology with these little balls that they would put at the top of the water to keep light from reflecting in the shot. So that was like a method they used for getting that good view on camera.
I know they can like they spent a considerable amount of time out in the ocean filming
Yeah.
this. Like, I mean, I think it was at least 6 months. It was a while. It was a long time they were out in the water, like just trying to. I mean, it paid off. Honestly, it everything to me, everything paid off. Like it was this film was well conceived. Like it is very few weaknesses, if at all. Like it's, I think most of the issues I have are they're very minor. They're just they wouldn't. I don't think they would affect the story in a positive or negative way either way. Like the issues that I had with it. So like, uh, I mean, for me, it's difficult to sequels are not easy to make, like especially off coming off of a very successful uh, entry to a franchise, and like they've definitely got a franchise on their hands now. Like they've got a legitimate $1 billion film. Oh, I'm freezing.
We can still hear you.
Okay. Um, they've definitely got a $1 billion, multi-billion-dollar franchise on their hands. Anyway, I'm gonna let somebody else go. One
Oh,
second.
to piggyback off of, I think it was you, JBM, who said that that the cast had to dive. Kate Winslet, who played the female head of the Water Tribe,
Mm-hmm.
she passed the world record for an actor holding their breath on set.
Yeah, she did.
She dove for over 7.5 minutes, and she did that regularly while filming. That was not like a one-time thing. That's just what she was capable of doing. And I read about it. I don't remember why. I was trying to Google why she can do that so well, but this is not her first time free diving. And she probably started when she was involved with the Titanic.
Yeah. Did you see resemblances from Titanic in this movie?
I was thinking about that.
Like at the end on the ship when it was blowing up and it flipped over, I was like, yo, this Titanic all over again.
I didn't even think about that. I definitely thought about her. I have something to say that I don't know if it's controversial because at the end of the day they are aliens, but I thought her casting was odd. I understand her and James Cameron have history, so it's no disrespect there. That's the role he
Mhm.
wanted her to have. But in all of the other characters, they've casted people of color. And I think it was because they wanted the characters to look like people of color, right? And for the most part, you can look at the actors and see how they resemble their avatar. Even Jake, how, this is a white man who's human, but they still were able to capture his features. The same with Sigourney Weaver, and I forgot the kid's name, but the girl who Sigourney Weaver's character gave her to, Kitty, I think was what they called her. Even
Carrie
Kitty
or Kitty? Yeah.
features that looked like Sigourney Weaver, because for those who don't know, Sigourney also played her in this movie as well. But to have Kate Winslet in, to me, they made her avatar look real ethnic compared to her face, and that made me a tad uncomfortable. I don't know how to, like, I don't know why, but I don't know, that bothered me. Does that bother you?
No, that went right over me.
It bothered me
Yeah.
the moment I found out that she was in the film and I
Yeah.
saw what her character looked like.
I didn't know that was Kate Winslet.
That was Kate Winslet from the
Yeah, I had
Titanic.
no idea. I didn't
And
even know Carrie was Sigourney Weaver until after the movie.
Kitty was Sigourney Weaver, because the way that they kind of framed it is she's low key a clone, not high key. This is what my interpretation is. I want Coop to be a part of this conversation too, so he can figure it out. But I just thought, I don't know, that was so strange. So that's just my thought. I don't know. It just seemed like low key, like people of color fishing, but it's also like she's an alien, so maybe I need to let it go.
Hey, however you took it is how you take it, right? I don't know.
Also, we mentioned this on the show mad long ago. We never got to it, and y'all just made me think about it again. As far as the sequel goes, we need to get a list of sequels and we need to rank them, like the best sequels, because I think 2022 gave us 3 of the best sequels of all time. We have Black Panther 2, we have Avatar 2, which could might be up there as far as the list goes. And then also Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick was still one of the most exciting films I saw last year. I think the only things to knock it down were probably Black Panther and Avatar.
Well, two sequels off top: Judgment Day, Terminator Judgment Day, and Godfather 2. Those are, I don't see anything beating those, in my humble opinion.
Oh no, the second Conjuring movie had me shook.
Didn't watch it. I did watch Hereditary recently. Overrated.
Unity Beanie said T2 real ending. He's talking about Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Real ending.
What real ending?
We taking this all the way left.
Mm-hmm.
Unity being what you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
But yeah, I hope Coop does rejoin because we need to talk about Kiri and this immaculate conception.
Kiri or Kitty?
Who's the young teenager with the powers? Ta'awa.
So that's technically Sigourney Weaver.
But yeah, she was Kiri, right, in the movie? Her name was Kiri, right?
Oh, I was calling her Kitty the whole time. You know what? Because they put a little extra on it. That's why I was calling her Kitty. Okay. You laughing at me, Coop?
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Kiri. So how do y'all think Kiri got those abilities?
I think it's on some Jesus / Luke Skywalker type, not Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker type stuff. That she's immaculate conception. She was a gift from Awa.
I think Awa is the daddy.
Talk about Awa as she's like a woman, but yes.
Yeah.
Woman. Yeah, I think Awa made that happen. Like, because Sigourney Weaver, her character died in the first one when they were trying to transfer her to the Avatar, right?
Right. So her body was technically, both bodies were connected to Awa.
Yeah, and Awa is supposed to like do a life for a life, right?
I guess, yeah, because they usually plant a tree. They put a tree down with every loss. I didn't even think about that. That's dope.
Yeah. So maybe Sigourney Weaver dying made Awa just put a life in that Avatar body, or in the Avatar's body, a body in the body.
Okay, had to switch cameras. I did hear everything you guys said. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Where did Kitty come from?
Definitely, I agree. Immaculate conception. I don't know how else that could happen because if I remember correctly from the first movie, there was a lot. How they saved. I forget what was Sigourney Weaver's character's name. I forget. How
Kiri.
they preserved.
You talking about in the first one?
Grace.
Yeah. Grace, the mother. Yeah, I can't remember. I remember they connected her to the spirit tree, but I thought she died in the first movie.
So I guess what happened is she died. They buried her human body, but the scientists saved her avatar body. They put her back in the tank because technically when Grace passed, she was in her human form. And so her avatar body was technically asleep. It wasn't dead. It wasn't brain dead. It was just asleep. So they chose, I guess, to put it in the tank. I'm not going to lie. It took me a while in the film to understand what was going on. When Grace was pregnant, I was thinking it was an extra avatar body or something. And then I realized her human body died. Her avatar body was technically still alive because her consciousness was not in it.
Right. So, and they found the fetus growing in that body.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and people were saying that Grace's avatar was probably pregnant beforehand, but Kitty is not much younger, but she's younger than the oldest brother. In my mind, it went uh first son, second son, Kitty, and then the little girl. I
Yeah,
think
it's a definitely immaculate conception. I feel because like there's a major like spiritual um theme in the movie that the connection that that the Navi have with Pandora is like it's deeper than um just it's a deeper connection than what we might have with Earth. Like it's far deeper than anything that it's like they are. It's not a hive mind, but it is that connectivity is something. It's like the Force, like in many ways, like this. When they were talking about um what's the I forget the spirit. What's the spirit?
Awa.
Awa.
Awa. They talk about it just like how the Jedi talk about the Force. Like there's a very similar thematic elements there. So I can definitely. I hope I hope it's Immaculate Conception. I think that would be very interesting.
It'd be whack if it was anything else. I also think they're
Yeah.
setting Kitty's character up to take
Kiri.
on some. Listen, I'm trying to say it fast. Stop. I'm I'm trying. You made me lose my thought.
That's hilarious.
Oh, they're trying to set her up for taking on some sort of like status, some sort of position within the tribe in the future. I was watching Prey. Did y'all see it? The Predator sequel that was on Hulu. I watched it with my mom this weekend, and the main character in Prey, her mother was like the healer for the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So she was responsible for gathering necessary herbs and healing the wounded and taking care of the sick. And she was, teaching her daughter those things. And they got into a tiny little argument because the mother had given someone something to heal them and it wasn't working. And the daughter was like, well, you forgot this. And Kiri did the same thing with her grandmother, who we know to be like the tribe's priestess in Avatar. When they were working on the brothers, she was like, well, I would have given them this. I would have done this instead because this is, too old. And the grandmother was like, well, you still need to learn the way. But that shows that she's definitely going to be taking on her grandmother's status, but now she's in a new tribe, she's in a new place, and her connection to AWA is not anything we've seen on the screen before. So I'm thinking that if there's any sort of time jump in the next film, we are going to see an evolution in her as a being, as a spiritual being, as well as her status within the tribe too. Also, why I can talk about tribal stuff, it was very beautiful to see Kate Winslet's character. That's another thing I didn't like. Her performing the ritual to cleanse Kitty of whatever was keeping her unconscious. I thought that was really beautiful to see on screen. That type of practice, there are people who still do those things in the States, and there are definitely cultures that practice that all over the world, but that's not something we get to see on camera. So I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, that also shows Kiri's connection to AWA because all of the modern technology did not help her at all. They needed to go back to the roots.
Right.
Yeah. That was definitely an intentional thing, like that. She needed the spiritual healer. Like the technology wasn't going to save her.
Yeah. So so in the third movie, what do y'all think? Like, is the movie going to be anchored on Kiri's character and her AY level of power, or is she just going to be like the spiritual leader, witch doctor type of character?
That depends on if they're doing a time jump. If they're doing a significant time jump, then hopefully we can see her there. I'm thinking there's definitely going to be some growing. Maybe we'll see her as, a young woman, maybe rejecting the idea of, marriage and finding a mate and being more concerned about, spiritual things. But I think the big theme for the next movie is going to be Spider's decision to save his father, and now we got to fight him again.
Please, no, God. No.
That's like,
I'll bring him
that
up.
Spider
like,
was a C plot. His character had a C plot line in the movie. I do not want that to be the main thing for the third movie. Please.
Yeah, that's my major gripe with the movie. Like I said at the top, like I would have much preferred them not go back to the human antagonist. Like they create go. I hope they go deeper. Now that we're talking about the sequels, I hope that they go deeper into the Navi culture. Like we already know, James Cameron's confirmed this is not a plot leak or anything, but they are introducing a new tribe of the Navi, the Ash people is what they're referred to. They're a fire tribe. So, like, hopefully, I'm not sure. That sounds that they sound like they could be, maybe they could be the antagonist, because that definitely sounds like more of an aggressive type of tribe. If they stick to traditional tropes, like they should be far more fiery and aggressive than the two Navi tribes that we've been introduced to so far. Um, I gotta confirm this, but I think I remember James Cameron said he has at least um, planned out 6 films. He hasn't written 6 films, but he has like a total of 6.
Hold
I
on.
thought
Yeah,
it
this,
was after 4.
Look this up.
no, I think it's 6.
JBM said, "Let me get to typing."
I think it's 6.
I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely double check that, but I think that it is 6. And I hope what happens is that they have a nice handoff to the next generation of characters, and so like the children grow to become the leads. Like, because I mean, it's going to take that much time for them to, if they're going to do 6 films, they're definitely going to be adults by the time they get those 6 films made.
So
yeah, there should be a 6th though, I think.
Monica, I am very happy that
Monica,
the time jump and that we did get to see the growth of the children. But I will say, I hope the next films don't jump this much. That was really significant. I kind of appreciate it because it's been a long time since the movie came out. But on the other hand, Natiri had 4 kids. We didn't get to see what any of that looks like on screen. That I would think is really important. Those values, what it was like growing to there, what it was like for Jake to be Taruk Maktal. He became Taruk Maktal. He was leading this tribe, and we technically didn't get to see that on screen. We didn't get to see what life was like after the Sky people left, after they sent them away. They just brought us back, after they've come back, and now they're trying to invade and stuff. That was a huge jump. I'm not complaining too much, but I don't want to see that much of a jump in the next films. I really, really hope we don't, because otherwise, Natiri and Jake gonna be dead soon. If they keep jumping, they're gonna be dead by the third one.
There's a lot to deal with right after this story for them to,
Well, I think
we have to keep it relatively close to the time of this movie.
I think that they probably were forced to make a time jump just due to the amount of time that has passed in real life. Like, I mean, it's 14 years between the first movie and this one, so like it is probably the last major time jump that they do, hopefully, because I think
if they're doing like 6 of these movies, then yeah, there's no need for time jumps.
Yeah, because I think that so Avatar 3, Avatar 4, and Avatar 5, I think 3 and 4 have already been filmed, or 4 is filming right now, and then they'll work on 5, which means that the 6 is probably being written right now. Because I think I remember hearing in 2022 that he had 6 films planned, but was not greenlit for 6 films. Like, I think they had the green light for the first 3. The sequel had to be successful, which obviously that checked the box. I mean, it's going to cross 2 billion here soon, so I think it's safe to say that they'll probably end up greenlighting all 6 films. And if they're filming 5 and there's 6 in the can, then 5 either is going to end on a cliffhanger or he's going to have to rewrite the ending. But if they already got a release date for 5, that means it's well on its way. So I'm assuming maybe sometime this year we'll hear about a release date for 6, because they definitely need to get these films shot and before these actors age. Because I think, isn't Jake in his 50s now?
The actor?
The
Dang.
actor, I think he's in his 50s now. Like, so they're gonna, and then Zoe Saldana, she's also getting up there too. Like so like the older actors definitely don't have.
44.
Well, that's the good thing about CGI.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got to mocap the characters though. Like if they're doing their stunts, and because I don't know if they're doing their stunts or not. That's another thing.
All
Like,
the underwater stuff they did, that was the actor and actresses all underwater with motion cap.
Yeah, because
it's not. Sigourney Weaver was underwater.
It's not necessarily their appearance. It's more or less if they're going to do their own stunts, then like, yeah, they probably want to, do those sooner rather than later for the actors. Like,
Actors aside, I just don't want to wait 14 years for another movie. How long did we wait?
yeah, it's not going to be that long.
Like 10,
yeah,
12
14
years.
That
It's been 14.
2009 was when Avatar 1 came out.
That was a bit much. I don't want I will say, to me, after the wait for all this time, I feel like December 2023 is ambitious. So I'm going to say that the movie is going to come out December 2024 until I'm sitting in that seat ready to watch it. Because they took all...
Maybe it was by design.
Not done.
No, they were filming 3 and 4 during the pandemic. I think they started filming 3 right before the pandemic and they finished it after. And I think 4 is either currently filming or they're getting ready to wrap soon. And start
13 years is a long time. Like, you've got to have some type of production work towards those sequels.
I would 3 having a 2020 or a 2023 release date. That's almost guaranteed to hit that mark, because if they wouldn't give that release date unless it was already finished. Like, that's already done. Like 4 and 5 are questionable at this point. Giving them a year break between 23 and 25, like that one must not be finished.
I'm gonna believe it. I'll crack a smile for the next movie, the third movie, when I buy the tickets in pre-sale. Other than that, I'm chilling.
First trailer will drop this summer. They'll drop a teaser.
I don't mean
if we don't get a teaser trailer this summer.
So, who was y'all's favorite character in this movie and least favorite character in this movie?
Oh, well, I'm gonna go ahead and say least favorite was definitely Spider.
Lucky boy.
I went with that.
Yeah.
But I'm honest, even Spider wasn't as problematic as the second son who got his brother killed. Sorry, everything that happened at the end was his fault.
Technically, it was Spider that got the brother killed. It was Spider's foolishness.
What did Spider do?
The younger brother would have never had to go back for Spider. If Spider would have been trying to build a relationship with the daddy he never knew.
That's Spider.
Oh man,
I gotta rewatch it. But the
Spider could have jumped off the boat and swam to shore. He could have did anything.
Okay, but they didn't have to go out there because he was trying to save his whale. Your father told you to stay here, and you had to go save your whale, and now your brother is dead. Ask your parents who they want, the whale or the brother.
Yeah, the brother was a bit reckless. He was the two brothers were like two parts of Sully, their dad. The older brother was always trying to avoid trouble, same way his dad was trying to avoid the fight that was coming to him. And it wasn't until the older brother died that Sully took after his youngest son in going towards the fight and towards the trouble. So I thought that was a nice little correlation. But yeah, the youngest son was on some mess.
He irked me. But I if I had to get rid of a character,
Did y'all saw it coming? Did y'all see it coming?
The older
no.
brother dying.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely. They
I
telegraphed that one.
I saw it coming, but Zoe's Aldana, she brought it out of me.
Oh
I was
yeah,
crying.
I was like,
I
I
was
was like,
oh,
crying.
oh, I was like, hey, bro, it's over for him because when she went stone, like
it's that wailing.
I
She
was
does
like,
this. She's
oh
got this
man,
wailing. It's
oh
just like,
yeah.
hmm.
But no, yeah. But after when Sully was like, "Hey, I need you with me," and she went stone cold, I was like, "Hey, yo, it's over for him." Like
Yeah, she
it's
went into
over for
Kratos
him.
rage mode.
And she went straight up. Like I was like, "Yo, this about to get real tragic." Like she went John Wick. I thought that
Yeah,
was fantastic. That was such a like what that was probably one of the best like emotionally charged scenes I've ever seen. Like
yeah,
that was
especially to be
fantastic.
animated
Yes.
CGI. Like that was, yeah, that was cool to see. I want to
I
see
would I
more of
would
that. I want
I
to see
want to
more of
see.
Lettieri doing stuff like that.
Do
Yeah,
animated films get like, best actress? Because I mean that was all mocap. That was technically her.
they do now. They do now.
I would hope that she would be or she might be
Well, because
supporting
it's
too much
not.
the lead,
It's
but that was fantastic, her performance.
Yeah, she was good. But if she gets any award for a recent job she's done, it needs to be that Netflix show.
I haven't watched it. Everybody was
I don't
crying, and I
even
don't
what
know if I want to
Netflix.
cry right
It's
now.
called From Scratch. Monica put me on it, but she
Oh, okay. I
Zoe
heard
in
about
that
that.
show, she was, yeah, she needed an Emmy, Golden Globe, Oscar.
My mom was watching it, and I went into her office to tell her something, and I thought somebody died. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong? What happened?" And she had to pause the TV, and she just went like this, and she said, "I need a minute," and I was like, "I don't know if I want to watch that. I don't
It's
want to."
like that though. It's like it's heavy.
I should have watched it before I knew. Like I was like, "Oh, Zoe Saldana, I'll watch that." I never got around to it, and now I know it's gonna make me boo hoo. I gotta pick like a day where maybe I'm feeling too emotionally just full, and I just need to let it out. Maybe I'll watch it then. But
Yeah, Zoe, she's the queen of tears now. First, it was Angela Bassett. Then it was Viola Davis. Now Zoe. Zoe got
she
it
be
now.
Viola Davis.
She beat Viola Davis.
I I would
You got it.
definitely.
She beat Viola Davis.
I would like to see a performance like that. What like at like live like behind the scenes like be on set when that happens because I'd imagine like that'd be like unreal because you them filming it they probably realize that yeah we about to take home awards off this like because even working on Manhunt like there were times where it was like yeah this is probably gonna get some awards like so I and it wasn't even about the
Feel the
performances it's just the
vibrations.
overall yeah you could tell just off the production value like and the dedication and commitment to people that are and everyone working around you and like if the actors are giving performances like that like I know people were like on that set buzzing like those are like you look forward to those types of productions because everybody comes to work like ready to go because you have a good session like a good day of shooting like that like I wonder how many takes she had to do that probably not that many
Yeah, probably not a
I
lot.
hope not. That
probably
was
not that many
I was definitely a mess in the theater after that one. That was a lot.
because
Yeah.
like a lot of times like they probably use her probably first or second take and they'll make them you'll have to she probably did it multiple times but it was just so they could get different camera angles and whatnot because like I that happens a lot like a lot of times like they'll get the performance out of the actor they need but they'll film it from different angles just so that they can have multiple shots to choose from and they'll still use like the first take but yeah man like that I know I wonder how like what was her voice like the next day after that because that man you could feel that screaming in your soul like I felt that in the theater
Mm.
man it was
They definitely had to film somebody else for a couple weeks after that one.
yeah
Uh,
that pain she might have had a couple of days off
we all said our least favorite character. I think the consensus was Spider, and then I was in between Spider and the brother. Who was our favorite? The uncool said it was the whale. Was his best.
Hey, the whale has carry some emotion too, though. That whale, I felt that whale.
So, just so that I understand, the whale was outcast because he caused the death of a bunch of tribes people. Not that he killed them, but he caused it.
No, he was blamed for it.
He was blamed because he was out with the pack, with the herd.
He was the only
survivor. The hunters came and started hunting the other whales, and he retaliated because the hunters killed his mother right in front of him. And that's why he was outcast, because they're not supposed to kill. That was the pact that they made. That's what the father was talking about why he was outcast. He was outcast because he killed, but they didn't tell the whole story. He killed because the hunters killed his mother.
Gotcha.
So because he retaliated, and he got a bunch of the other whales that were survivors to basically work together to attack the hunters. That's why he was outcast, because he was the ringleader.
And
the other ones got away
scot free. That whale, half his fin was missing, and you notice the human that killed that killed the other whale, when he was killed, his arm got cut off.
Oh, he was like, I'm getting back in blood. Chomp, chomp.
Yeah,
it was like an arm for an arm.
So basically, because he also technically killed people when he came back and was helping them in this movie, he's definitely like keeping up with the outcast behavior. He was like, I'm not with this chill stuff.
He was about the action.
I don't disagree. I think Neytiri
is why he connected with the youngest son, because the youngest son was about that action.
Definitely. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about it that way. They're definitely alike.
They are the same. That's why that's his spiritual brother.
He had a lot of connections.
And he got other people killed. That's right. And his son got his brother killed. That's crazy. Wow.
A brother for a brother.
They can both be outcast for real.
Watch this.
Neytiri is my favorite character. I felt like they did Neytiri dirty in this movie. I felt like she was kind of did a little dirty in the last movie, but this movie it got worse. It didn't get better. In the last movie, she lost her father. She lost her home. This time, she lost her home again. She lost her status. She lost her son. And I just felt like she took on a lot more losses than she did gains. I mean, a lot of them lost in this movie, but to me, she lost more than anybody else. And it kind of sucks to see that. From, when this thing started, she was a Disney princess. And now, not that she's still not great, not that she's still not a warrior, but she's lost a lot. And it would be really nice to see her win on screen. Like, if they can go back home to her tribe, I would like to see her, have that. If they can go back to the forest.
Do you think she'll play a different role in the third movie? You think she'll be more rageful?
I would. I mean, she was rage. She's not chill, and that's probably where the son gets it from. She's always been about that action. Whether or not you're talking like she's going to be angry with her husband, that I can't say for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, she did choose him. She chose this life, so I don't know how angry we can be, but
I can see there being a conflict with the stray cat with Tiger. What's his name? Tarzan boy?
Spider.
Like if Scully wants to keep Spider around, and Neytiri's like, nah, he's the reason for all of this. I could see that being a conflict.
Is Scully like Scully and Mulder?
He did.
Oh, what's his name? What's the husband's name?
Jake Sully.
Sully?
Yeah.
Scully?
Sully, no Scuff.
So, yeah.
What were you saying?
I like Neytiri's character, but she wasn't my favorite just because she didn't have a lot in this movie to do. It was like there wasn't enough of her to see in the movie to be the favorite.
Before I forget, why they put that Tyler Perry high top wig on one of the boys that was under the water, one of the ones from the Water Tribe, the son.
Oh,
why they put that hair on him?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna find it. Bad. Crazy was I saw a picture of it before I saw the movie, And I thought somebody edited that. I think they did edit a part into it on Twitter, but it was bad. I was like, why they put
I
that
thought it was
hair on
edited
him?
too, because he got the little the curly juice box fade. You talking about that?
The
Yes.
curly juice box fade.
Yeah, man. Like it's
What?
the one. It's the youngest brother. Like it is bad.
It's
It
the
was
one that the
bad.
youngest son was fighting with.
It
Avatar.
didn't make his hairstyle ain't make no sense at
Hold up. I'm
all
trying to
in
find this.
comparison.
I'm trying to see what.
Hey yo. It didn't make any sense like why he had that hairstyle. Everybody else basically, because I mean the tribe is like they're Samoan as a real like real world like reference, and like I
His
don't know,
hair
I didn't
didn't.
understand. It didn't make any. I don't know. It
Oh,
was
that kid.
definitely
Okay, yeah, that was a little interesting.
Actually, I'm looking at a picture right now, and there's some other people in it. I think in the first movie, for the most part, everybody had the same texture hair, and they have a little extra something going on in the water people. Like there's people with braids, I see people with locks, there's the people with curls. But why did they put that wig on him? I just don't understand. I'm trying to find him. I don't see him by himself.
find the what's the actor? Who's the
What's his
actor?
name?
He might actually have that a similar. I don't know, but
Yeah, the name was
um
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll it's like Roxo, Rotxo.
yeah. As far as favorite characters for me, I don't know if I have a favorite character. Natiri had my favorite character moment at the end in the third act. Um, and
I
then
think Kiri was my favorite just
I
because how
I
in
think
tune
so
she
too.
was to the planet.
I liked her a
I
lot.
think yeah, that was I would say that she because of
She
the
was
amount of screen
carefree.
time she had and how integral she was to the story, I would
Yeah.
say that she was definitely my favorite character. But I think Natiri had my favorite character moment in that final act. Like that whole last fight was like fantastic.
I found it. I'm gonna post it. And just
That's not what his hair looked like. I'm looking at him right now. Although his name is Dwayne, the actor's name is Dwayne, but that's not the hair he had.
that's not it. With the ponytail in the back.
With the ponytail in the back. I didn't see it. You put it on screen?
I put it on. I can share my screen.
Shit.
Got like what, six more minutes till we hit the hour mark.
Um, Unnecessary. Why? 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 Why?
That is it.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
it underwater does look bad though. Like,
It looked bad both places. It looked bad out of the water
I
too.
mean, it's like outrageous in underwater.
yeah, that's a wild. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, side note, shout out to James Cameron. There was a scene where who was underwater? The
It's a
the
great shot.
daughter. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the youngest daughter. I liked her
Her
too.
name
Like
was
just as a
Loak.
character. Yeah, yeah.
Loak.
There
Um,
was a scene at towards the end. It was like high action moment, climactic moment, and then they cut to her being handcuffed to the railing again, and she just had like this line that I was like, oh well, he,
I know what you're talking about. I cut that one out of my head too. I was like,
yeah,
we just
like
let
that
that
was
slide. We was
unnecessary.
like, youth, youth.
She said, again, or something like that.
oh yes.
I was like, oh man,
Yeah, I was like, that's cute, but we ain't here for that right now. There's action
man,
going on.
that was like a straight up Disney line right there.
Yeah,
I can also give props to James Cameron and all the visual effects artists. There was one scene where the hair looked so real that it scared me. It didn't look like human hair. It looked like the hair that I use for braiding, which they probably might have put in the water to see how it moves around because that hair has a slightly different texture than real hair. But they used it for the daughter with the curly hair. And I think they had someone come in and make locks so that they could understand how Jake's locks looked underwater, because the texture looked like someone using the braiding hair to create locks. I know that, you know, there's only but so much you can do, but like deep down, they got a black braider to come in there and make some locks, and that's the hair she brought, and that's the hair they captured when they photographed it underwater. It was crazy real. I was like, yo, this is what the hair looks like when I clean it. Like it was scary how perfect that was. So yeah.
They did a fantastic job, I think, overall. Like it's high mark. I mean, I all of the cultural themes in it.
Frankie Karina, hair and makeup artist for Avatar 2.
The world building, them using sign language underwater to communicate, um, the subtle evolutionary differences between the Navi tribe, the Water tribe having a flatter, wider tail, wider like musculature. They had like they weren't quite fins, but they almost looked like amphibians. Like, and it's such a minor evolutionary deviation that it's believable because it's not an extreme. Um, they're not two separate species, but they're like near species. Like they have enough. They're different enough to be separate. Like
Kind of like dogs.
yeah, like they're clearly adapted to partially living in the water and under the water. Like I just I liked all of that stuff. Like there's so many subtle details that they got right that just made the world feel more believable because it is those details that matter in the end. Like having they didn't have to have they didn't have to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have to add all those details to it, but because they had those details, it made everything feel more grounded and believable.
Side note, there was a lot of middle fingers in this movie.
It was. Hey, you only get so many. I think what two F-bombs in a PG-13
Well,
max.
they
So
they put
they got
all these
creative.
middle
They
fingers. Hold on.
got creative with it.
I liked that we got that really gritty battle. It was a little too nice for a while. I do appreciate that we got to see the water. I want to see more action, more. I want to see the different tribes fight. Like we never really got to see the. Oh gosh, I was about to say underwater avatars and made me think about Dr. Umar. Never got to see the water people. We never really got to see them in action as far as like a battle in the water. We got to see them swim around, but we never got to see them battle. If we go to see these ash people in the next movie, I want to see them fight in their habitat. I want to see the way that they move, not just when everything is happy, but when, you know, things are got to get a little dirty too. I need that.
Yeah, I want to see all their special moves. You know, what kind of weapons they use. How do they engage?
Yeah,
Type of artillery.
I feel like well, it depends. It depends on how they handle those characters. Because I kind of hope that they're in more of a volcanic region, and I hope that it's more or less like a. I hope they are a little bit more aggressive than what we have seen from the other Navi tribes thus far. Like
The new Avatar tribe.
yeah, the new tribe that they're going to introduce in 3.
Yeah.
So I
They
think
wear some shoulder pads with spikes on them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just overall like culturally a little bit more aggressive. Like somebody you don't want to like really go mess with. Like I hope that I just hope they have that aggression.
Yeah.
Face to face, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Fist to Face, what's happening? Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh
Content Creator Summit. Who was at that?
Yeah, for for Star Citizen last Saturday.
Oh,
fellow content creator for
oh yeah, that's
SC.
right. Yeah, Coop representing for Gumbo. Shout
Nice.
out to Coop. Shout
Yeah,
out to
that
Star
was
Citizen.
it was a
Um,
great summon. Shout out to Griffin Gaming and Soul Citizens for putting that on. That was fantastic. We had like over 47 content creators. It was over 40 content creators. A lot of them I was very familiar with. I follow them, and then also met some new faces, new people like face to face. So yeah,
Yeah.
um, fantastic exposure. Hopefully, we
So
can meet in person in at CitizenCon this year.
yeah, maybe a couple of them can come on the Gumbo show, the Cookout, chop it
Oh
up.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
did we have any more thoughts about this? I'm trying to
Yeah, I
think
want to. I
again.
want to know what y'all's key takeaway from the movie was. Like, what do you think the key theme was?
Definitely spirituality, religion, um, and then listen to your parents. Don't get your brother killed.
I am. I think spirituality and like family. Still, I think family is still a major theme in this in the Avatar franchise. I think that's going to be the consistent theme throughout.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, like it's I don't know. I'm not sure I have a that I think those are my overall thematic elements that I picked up, but I just think that the overall storytelling of this and the world building was just fantastic. Uh, and it's a franchise that is going to have legs.
Oh, another theme is the rejection of change, the just inability to just accept that things might be different from here on out. Natiri rejecting Spider the entire movie. Of course, the Navi, the forest Navi fighting the Sky People on the regular, battling with them. But then also we got to see what happened when they went to the Water Tribe, and the Water People were not trying to be too receptive. They were hostile,
mhm.
not just the wife, but the kids too, the people as a whole, not necessarily interested in inviting these outsiders in. That's a huge theme across
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
I agree.
series.
I think all that played into a deeper theme. I think the movie was all about identity because you had,
Mm.
like you say, the Water Tribe. They were fighting with Sully's kids over, identity. Spider, he had identity issues. The main villain, he had some identity conflicts as well because he's got his subconscious uploaded to somebody else's body. So is he really him? Is he not? We don't know. Kiri, she doesn't really know how she came about. She's struggling with who she is. She knows she's something powerful, but she doesn't really know. This is just, yeah. Identity seems to be like a common theme in each character.
I agree. I think that was yeah. That's well said. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I want to see three, man. I'm ready for three to come out. I want to see how they continue the story.
Yeah,
Just
I think
don't
I'm
let
more excited.
Spider do nothing stupid.
I think I'm more excited for three than I was for two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm way more hyped now, more hyped than I thought I could be. The fact that they are going to go all the way to a sixth movie is really exciting. Like after the
Mm,
second movie, I was like, dang, this is going to stop after two, which I mean after two more, which is a lot of film, a lot of work to make, but I don't know. I just saw so much more that they could do with the story. So that's really exciting to know that we're going to get four more films, not just two more. And I don't know, maybe James Cameron is going to go crazy and write some extra stuff. Maybe somebody else someday could take it over. But yeah.
I think by the end of the sixth one, the parents now they'll be gone. They'll pass away, and then the kids will be leading by the sixth. I'm thinking.
I definitely would like to see a mature Jake and Natiri, looking over things. We got to see her parents in the first film, but her dad died, and then also her mom did not have much screen time in the film. And I was assuming that was her mom. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Um, we need to see more elders in these films. I would think that, for people who live this way, their elders would be very, very valuable. We didn't really get to see them much on screen, and I would like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in closing, we've gone an hour 6 minutes. I think this was a good review for the sequel.
Oh, Coop, did you hear what Amani mentioned about the top sequels?
Yeah, we need to do that. We had a conversation on the Gumbo before, trying to, just bring up what are the best sequels were of all time. But I think we should probably try to rank them. Although, if we're going to rank something on here, at some point we need to tackle these DC movies. We can do the sequels first if we want to.
But you talk the DCEU?
I mean, we didn't leave the Marvel to just the MCU. We ranked them all.
How far are we going back?
All right, I'm gonna tell you. As far as DCEU goes, here's it's gonna go. The Batman #1, and then everything else can fall where it goes. Like,
there we go. If we're gonna rank something, I don't disagree. I feel like there's some arguments to be had. We know Bat Nips is going towards the bottom, but
it's all it starts from the bottom. Everything on that side starts from the bottom.
It's a reverse ranking. There you go.
So maybe we'll start out by just building the list. We won't make it a full show, and then another show we can come back and actually start the list. And we would have to build the list for the sequels too. I think that might be a two-parter situation because we can't just rank them and name them at the same time. We got to figure out what's going to be on the list first. I saw Megan, so maybe next week I can give y'all, a little recap of Megan. It was
the second.
Yeah,
I got it. Yeah, I want to see it. I heard a good thing about it.
All right, so you didn't
watch I heard good things about it too.
Y'all could watch it by next week.
Probably. We got to the second, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, at least the first, because we'll be back on February 2nd, same time.
February 2nd.
Yep.
So definitely check your theaters because I don't know how long she's gonna be in theaters.
Yeah, February 2nd. I might be absent. I'll be out of state for a work conference. But if depending on that day and depending on what's going on, I might can be in the hotel room and stream from there.
Save all your receipts. Oh dang! Did y'all watch Last of Us? Thank you.
Yes.
Oh yes.
We did.
Yes.
That's what I was like. Why aren't we talking about Last of Us right now?
Sorry, I forgot. Did we all watch it? Did we want to do that, or do we want to wait till next week?
Let's wait.
We can wait. We can wait.
All right, because we'll have like 3 episodes by then to talk about.
Yeah, because then we can actually
10 out of 10 for me for that.
Yeah, I think we should have a dedicated episode to that one because I think that's a fantastic series. I think we're going to need an hour for those conversations because I mean the first episode is what, an hour and a half, hour 20 or something like that.
Yeah,
but
it was lengthy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on our when we come back.
All right, so we'll save that, and then we'll save maybe if y'all can watch Megan, we could talk about Megan for like 15 minutes, and then we can get into Last of Us next time.
I'm with it.
All right, y'all good? Any last thoughts?
Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for watching. Much love.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Uncool, Fist to Face, Monica. Lauren, and Coop Daddy Yoda. Oh, as a matter of fact, Coop Daddy Yoda at top of the hour, at the top of the hour, first one in the comments.
Coop Daddy Yoda.
Definitely got a shout out.
What up?
OG Coop.
And Unity Bing was very eager to talk about Terminator 2, so we're gonna have to bring you back in for that sequel conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need more info.
Yes. And if you're still watching Unity, man, appreciate you for joining us tonight. I don't know if you've been watching, but definitely it's the first time I've seen you in the comments. So welcome to the Gumbo family. Hope you are subscribed and you enjoyed yourself tonight. And hopefully we'll see you on the next episode, as well as everybody else.
All right, y'all. So as always, thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Discord, or subscribe to our Discord. What am I supposed to say?
Join.
Buy us a coffee.
Join our Discord. The link is in the description bar down below. Also, buy us some coffee. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch at Certified Gumbo. Is that it? Did I forget something?
That's it.
Our
All socials.
sponsor was Health Aid for the night. Health Aid kombucha.
You got to get the one that's for the Pride one. It's like a jasmine tea one. That's the one. The Trevor project be getting the good special flavors and stuff, and they've made it like a permanent flavor. They usually would only put it out for Pride Month, but now it's all year round because it's fire. It's very light, refreshing.
All right. Yeah, check what brand is it? What's the name of it?
That one.
Health Aid.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I might be lying. It's a different brand, but a similar bottle. I will look it up.
I was gonna say because I don't remember seeing.
It's Dr. something, I think.
What's up? Star Wars MCU OG.
It's by Brew Doctor.
Brew Doctor. Okay.
Brew Doctor.
Brew Doctor.
Hey, what's up, Star Wars? What's happening, man?
Star Wars MCU OG. Y'all, I'm gonna work on the outro. It's been a long time, and I'm off my game, but I'm gonna get back. It's gonna be back to the robot, say the exact same thing like it was before.
Yeah, I feel like I need a better outro too. I just be off the cuff, real bland.
I mean, hey, that's JBM though. It's all bland.
The B is for bland.
Off the cuff. I don't know about the bland part, but the definitely off the cuff is definitely your style.
Just bland, man. JBM, just bland, man.
That was not me. I didn't say that.
Yeah, I was commenting more so on the off the cuff part, not the bland part. I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
he's definitely not bland. That's for sure. But yeah,
he's with the shenanigans.
So at the top, you may have missed it. I did get my PTU issue worked out for Star Citizen, so I can actually hop into the test universe now, test some 318 features. So that will be on Twitch probably tomorrow, because I don't think I'm going to stream it tonight. But yeah, if you want to join, it'll be probably a lengthy stream sometime tomorrow morning. I will definitely put it in the Discord. So if you want to hop in and get some 318 footage of me just fooling around testing some features out, join me there. And if you're interested in Star Citizen, that's a great place to come and watch, ask me questions. I know quite a bit about the project now. I spent the last 6 months doing a deep dive, and so it'll be a fun time. Real relaxed and chill. But that's all I gotta say. That's gonna be my outro. As I always say, peace, love, blessings, and may the force be with you always.
Underwater avatars.
Hey, yo, what?
We still live?
We still live.
I ended it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I ended the broadcast.
Yeah, I'll end the broadcast.